Today on the Yo Bros podcast, Forrest talks about his most anticipated video games of 2016. Dustin wants to talk about all the exciting summer movies that are coming our way, and I will be laying out DC Comics Rebirth.
I was in Chicago. It was so freaking cold. How do people on the East Coast do it? It's freaking April. San Diego, it's always like 73 degrees out.
Yeah, it's nice.
Whatever.
Don't talk about the weather.
Whatever. What's up, family? Welcome to the Yo Bros podcast, the show that brings three brothers together to talk about three topics in games, movies, and comics. If you'd like to be part of our family, please head on over to yobrospodcast.com, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and rate us on iTunes. If you want to be part of the show, please email your questions at yobrospodcast.com. And last thing, remember, this is a potential spoiler podcast on today's topic, so if you don't want anything spoiled, please come back after you've either watched, read, or played about these topics. So remember, I'm Dustin.
I'm Forrest.
I'm Cody.
And we're going to be breaking up topics by topic. So first, Forrest, you are going first. So what's your topic for the day?
My topic of the day is your most anticipated video game of 2016.
Heck yeah. So before we begin, what have you been playing any games lately?
I'm trying to get back into Fire Emblem Fates Birthright. It's been busy. I've been holding it off in favor of some good anime. You feeling me? So I know you guys aren't into that, but yeah, so that's holding me back, but I'm looking to finish that and hopefully go into Zelda before it comes out.
So what do you mean getting into Zelda? What do you mean?
I gotta pump myself up for it, man. I gotta prepare my body with some Fire Emblem action before I go into Zelda.
I need to get him the History of Hyrule, a big, huge hardcover that Dark Horse came out with, and just kind of like let him like lift weights with it or something like that.
Please do.
I was so mad. I bought the Wii U Wind Waker bundle, and it came with that, but it was a digital copy, so you could only read it on the TV, and I'm like, I can't even read this. It was so terrible. Horrible. It was garbage. All right, so Forrest, you want to play Fire Emblem Fates before you get into Zelda?
Yeah, I think I was foreshadowing into one of my favorite games of the year coming out.
I see that. Cody, you are our least gamer out of everyone. Are there any games that you've been playing this year before we jump into most anticipated games?
No.
Good. Well, you did play Batman.
I played Batman Arkham Knight. Unless the game starts with Batman or Metal Gear or Mega Man, it's going to be difficult to get me to like start diving into it.
Yeah.
But I liked Arkham Knight. I thought it was fun.
So your last year game of the year was Arkham Knight?
Yeah, in that it was the only game I played last year. It kind of won by default. I was tempted to give it to Mega Man 2.
Yeah.
But I figured it wouldn't be fair for Mega Man to win 20 years in a row.
That is true. Right. Well, it is one of the greatest games of all time. Gameplay mechanics. I was lucky. I had a hip surgery, so I had 2 months to play whatever I wanted. So I played Tomb Raider. I played Tales of the Borderlands. I played a lot of indies. I was playing Majora's Mask a little bit. So I had a lot. I had a really good time playing.
Okay,
games.
Now how many hours did you put into that?
God, I don't even know. I put 67 into Metal Gear. I finished that before surgery.
It was a bad game, wasn't it?
It was a great game. You're so stupid, Forrest. What else did we play? On the PlayStation Plus games was free indie games I've been getting. Broforce. I've been playing that quite often. That's
Broforce?
Broforce. It's
whoa, let's hear about
it. Sounds like Contra to me. What is that?
So it's a side-scroller game, and you try to save people, and every time you save them, you like get an 80s character. So it'd be like Brominator, and it'd be like the Terminator, or it'd be like I don't know, Rambro, and you play as Rambro, and
that'd be like some dating simulator or something.
no dating simulator.
All right, we got to get that going then.
We'll do. So
there's your game.
Yeah, most anticipated.
That's great. I played The Division for a little bit. I really didn't jump into it. What else was there? I just bought Twilight Princess.
Yes.
So I don't know.
How was that?
I'm like 40 minutes into it. I just got someone some milk.
It's the best. It's the best part of the game.
I got a cat a fish, and I returned the cat to some lady. It's good stuff. It's very deep.
Cody, why don't you play video games?
It's good stuff, Cody. Oh man, whatever. You might like Division. You walking around New York the whole time. And
is it like actual geography, or is it like simulated New York,
no,
where
it's like Manhattan.
not even? So then they have like actual landmarks and street names and everything like that.
It's to scale. I don't want to say to scale, but it's pretty good size of Manhattan, and you walk around and you shoot people, and you upgrade your character that way.
So any listeners in New York City, if you think Dustin is full of crap, be sure to email us at questions@yobrospodcast.com.
Of course. So I don't know. I think I'm sure I've been playing a few others. I played at Yoshi's Woolly World.
Ooh.
I played Splatoon.
Ooh. How's Yoshi's Woolly World?
It's very basic. I want to get my wife to play it because it's like Mario for babies.
Mm-hmm. How's the story in it?
I got you that game for Christmas.
I do. I love it. Thank you. My favorite game that I played over surgery, though, was Until Dawn. It's, for those of you who don't know, so it's a horror movie game, but it's choose your own adventure. And like, your choices affect who survives and who doesn't. So I think there's like 8 or 9 characters, and the choices you make, either all 9 characters can survive or all 9 could die, or anywhere in between. Mm-hmm. So it's, I don't know, I think it's really, really cool, really interesting. And it's a Sony exclusive game, and yeah, I really think they have something on their hands with that. So
sounds fun.
So enough about what you've been playing. What are we looking forward to then?
Starting off with me?
Yeah.
All right. Best for first. I'll be going for... Well, first off, I just want to make a complaint.
Of course. It's the uplifting podcast.
Yeah. All right, let's start off with the bad news. All right, so Attack on Titan was supposed to come out later this year. I think it's coming out in August. So I was really looking forward to that, right?
Uh-huh.
Ends up, they're bringing it to America, but it's all in Japanese. All in subtitles. There's no English dub going on.
Well, are we talking about the anime or the game?
The game.
Okay,
so imagine if your favorite game from Japan, like Metal Gear, they said, all right, it's coming over this summer. Be prepared. And then you find out it's all in Japanese. You got to read subtitles in order to go through the story. I mean, I like Japanese, but...
I feel like I was bootlegging the game or something like that. Like, I feel like I did something wrong.
Like I'm getting a torrent on my computer or something in order to play the game. So, and I am used to watching the anime in English. I like the English dub. I know I'm a minority in that, but I was really looking forward to that. So that was originally going to be my most anticipated. Now it's my least anticipated. So let's go into Zelda, the good news.
Yes.
I am looking forward to Zelda Wii U and or Zelda NX. I know we're unsure as of yet if it's coming out for Wii U or sometime in 2017 on the NX, but do you have any news on that, Dustin?
No, so for those who don't know, the new Zelda, they announced it probably like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and they showed it, and people got really excited, and they said it would be out, I think, the fall of 2015, and then it got bumped. So the thing is, the Wii U is not doing well at all in sales, and it is rumored that the NX, which is going to be the next Nintendo system, is coming out. So people are wondering if this is even going to end up being on the Wii U console, or if they're just going to hold it off for NX. Now, they could pull a Twilight Princess, which was the game that came out between GameCube and Wii, and they put it on both. I'm really excited about it. Cody, have you seen the trailer for it at all?
No.
It's a cross between a realistic and an anime type look of Link, and they said they want the world to be really big, they want it to be very full, they want it to be not a linear path, so for exploration people,
it takes after the very first Zelda.
Okay.
You can pursue any dungeon in any order you want.
Right.
So I'm actually quite excited for that, and it's similar. What was the handheld one that just came out? Not Twilight Princess, the one before that. Link Between Worlds?
You mean Majora's Mask?
No.
Handheld? You said handheld.
I did, but I meant the new one, the Link Between Worlds.
That was a Link Between Worlds, yes.
Okay.
Isn't that just a Link to the Past, just remade?
Reimagined.
It's a sequel to it, yeah.
I would say it's more like
Still
reimagined.
successor,
So it's same map, but different puzzles, different dungeons, similar bosses, but not exactly. I think it started off as a remake, and then they switched it to a reimagined. But yeah, so similar to that, you can choose any dungeon you want, and it wasn't exactly... So you go into a Zelda world, and it's... you're going to get the grappling hook here. This dungeon, you're going to get a boomerang here. This one, you got to go to and buy them. And if you died, you lost all of them. So, and then you have to rebuy them again. So that was really cool, and that gave you the freedom to go to any dungeon you wanted. So I'm curious of what that is going to look like with the new Zelda game. So
frustrating.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
And
it's all a marketing scheme to get people to buy new controllers after they smash them.
So, Cody, my question to you is: we talked about you with video games. You don't have time for them. I would say you choose different mediums of entertainment, whether it's television or comics. Mm-hmm. But you grew up playing Zelda, correct?
Yeah.
Which ones did you play?
I played the first Zelda. I played Zelda 2.
Link.
Yeah, Link. Quest of Link.
Something like I have no idea.
Right.
The Adventure of Link, I believe.
Yeah.
The game was horrible.
Sorry. And then I played Link to the Past.
And then you stopped there.
I think I played a Game Boy version. What was the original Game Boy?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Adventures DX or something like that.
No, it was like the original Game Boy. It wasn't in color or anything like that.
Was it the one with the egg on the top of the mountain?
I think so.
Yeah, that's like Adventures DX or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I played those 4.
Sounds horrible.
Yeah.
No, I
still regard A Link to the Past as like one of the better ones.
That's a good one.
No. Link to the Past is great. In fact, that was another game I played over vacation, was the original Zelda. It's one of my top 2 or 3 favorite Zelda games. I was shocked on how much I couldn't put it down, and I would wake up, I'm like, I just want to play the Zelda game.
Ooh, may I say really quick, they remade it on the internet, on some website, so you can play it in like Minecraft graphics or something like that. I was playing it the other day.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Beautiful.
It's a 3D adventure.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, this was like back in the day when like you didn't know... You couldn't look up information on the internet, right? So like if you wanted a walkthrough or something like that or something to help you out, you couldn't do anything other than either draw your own map, which is what we did for the original Metroid game way back when in like the 80s, or you had to you had to dial up Nintendo Power's helpline, a 900 number, and they would tell you, in order to get past this dungeon, climb up these stairs and go into an icy room and then push this block down the hole and that will flip the switch and everything like that. And so, $18 later, you were able to get past that next room, but that was back in the day that like what I had to rely on for those games.
You didn't just buy Rob the Robot to beat it for you?
No, that thing. Our neighbor had that, and I didn't get it. I'm like, so it plays the game for you?
Yes.
Yeah, and you don't do anything? No. Oh, and that's fun. Yeah. His eyes light up. He looks adorable. It's garbage.
Comes around, goes around. That's what Twitch streams are. People don't play games; they just watch them. People play them on YouTube.
Yeah, well, it's like I get it if you're like sitting in a room with your friends and your friends are playing the game and you're watching them and you can make fun of them when they die, but I don't get watching people online do it.
Yeah, no, I'm
old.
That's right past my. That's when I start feeling old. I'm like, why would people do that? But look out for this summer for Yo Bro's Twitch stream. So just want to throw that out there.
If you can tell us why people do this, then email at us at questions@yobrospodcast.com, and please tell me why you would want to watch a complete stranger play video games on the internet.
That's true.
I like it. I'll tell you right now.
Why is that, Fo?
I'll leave it for the next podcast.
Okay, sounds good.
I got to think of some reasons.
Okay, so I'm actually really excited for Zelda. That's up there. I keep picking up and putting down Majora's Mask. I still have never beat that game. I'm playing on the 3DS right now. I don't know.
One of the best.
I'm so weak. I need
the best.
I need a guide to beat that game.
I didn't.
Well, you're a champion for us.
You want me to beat it? I'll be Rob the Robot for you.
Can I watch
correct your mistake?
Just hit me every time I go in the wrong direction. No.
Yeah, okay.
When you're at class one day, Forrest will come over. Hey, cool, let's beat it. It'll be Grand Theft Auto all over again.
Oh gosh, that was so not cool.
Yeah, but I kind of like we were touching on the graphics earlier. So, Cody, have you at least seen any bit of Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker?
No.
The cartoony little anime version. It's like the little bite-sized.
Like the old one?
Yeah, Forrest had it on the Game Crew.
Yeah, I got it back in 2004.
Yeah, I've seen bits of it. Sure.
Okay, so it's a mixture graphically between that and like the Twilight Princess, like the hyper-realistic looking Zelda. So it's as Dustin said, sort of a cartoony anime, but very realistic looking. So almost like the Akira version of Zelda, I would say, but more colorful.
But he still doesn't use his words, right?
No
Nintendo person talks.
Yeah.
But that's the charm of it. That's the charm of it.
Yeah, if I wanted the charm, I would go back and play the originals.
No. Okay, we've had lunches at my school where the entire time we did nothing but recite Zelda, like sound effects or grunts, whatever you want to call them, and it was awesome. It's part of the charm. Silence.
Moving on.
My favorite thing with that, when kids are talking too much in class, I'd be like, hey, listen! And like 3 kids would laugh. Like,
exactly, right? Those 3 were worth it.
They know what's up. So, okay, very cool. So is that your 2 games?
Yes, and might I hypothesize that I believe this is going to be the first Zelda game of all time, chronologically, let's go with that. That's a good word. I believe it's going to be the very first one ever because for those of you that have played Skyward Sword, at the very beginning of the game, Zelda gives Link a windsail scarf, let's call it.
Okay.
And she said, oh, this is from the first hero. And in this game, you can see our hero Link, who Miyamoto has suggested is not actually Link, using the sail scarf.
When he's like flying around.
In a Hyrule that has no castles so far, no real populations. It's kind of just like little settlements here and there, little cottages. There's weird robots like roaming around. And in Skyward Sword, there were robots that were dead, so
this game is potentially all about Link's cousin, Rink?
Yes.
Awesome.
Rink.
Or Tinkle.
Tinkle?
No, Linkle.
Yeah, no, that's the girl.
That's the girl, yes.
Yeah.
Whatever, this guy looks totally like a chick.
Kinda. I'll meet you halfway.
All right, then.
Do you think we should, like, just for the sake of, like, talking about anticipated games, mention Uncharted 4 at all?
I think so.
Okay.
Cody, please tell me your experience with the Uncharted series, because I know you're a big fan.
I played Uncharted 2. I got halfway, and then I stopped.
What's halfway?
He opened a box, climbed on some roofs.
Heck yeah, I did. So
he survived a train wreck.
He survived a lot of things.
Climbed out of a train that was hanging off a cliff.
He did. That was the opening scene. Good job.
Yeah, I did that. That's
awesome.
That. Yeah, that's halfway, right?
Yes, of course. Forrest, what about you? What's your experience with Uncharted?
I have looked at the box at Walmart.
Yes.
And I walked away.
It looked very exciting, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So, I guess I'll take the reins on this one.
There
It's basically an Indiana Jones game for you guys. It's adventure. Everyone lives at the end. Everyone's really happy. Bad guys come and Drake shoots them a bunch, and then somewhat puzzle platformerish with jumping and trying to solve these puzzles. He's always trying to do like archaeological stuff, trying to find treasure. And there's always like some sort of spiritual element. So it's like you open a tomb or something, and then it's like a powerful demon or something. And it's my favorite PlayStation exclusive series, probably. Naughty Dog made it. For those, they made Crash Bandicoot, The Last of Us, the Uncharted series, Jak and Daxter. So they have a really good pedigree with that. So
is there? I'm actually curious. Is there like a supernatural elements in those games? You kind of mentioned there's like demons in caves or something.
Yeah, so it's like one in Uncharted 2, like a spirit form took over the main bad guy at the end.
That's cool.
He was trying to kill you and stuff. So similar. You guys haven't played the new Tomb Raider ones, but
no.
It's funny because Uncharted takes a lot of notes from the original Tomb Raider games, and now the Tomb Raider games are coming back, and people are like, oh, this is a copy of Uncharted. Well, it's like,
right.
Which one came first? So,
Tomb Raider. I knew that one.
Good job, Cody. So it's very similar to that esque, but it's the charm of him. So he's the main character, and then he has this like old father figure came like Sully. So he's like, Drake, get down, he's he's like the comic relief guy.
Oh, so it's totally like Indiana Jones.
Oh, totally.
Nice.
And then there's Elena, which is his love interest. So the first three games, they kind of like going back and forth, and they end up settling down. So what's key with this one is like Drake's an older Drake, and he's been out of, treasure hunting or stuff like that for a while. And now his brother, who we've never met, shows up. And they meet up, and there's probably going to lead him on one adventure. So with me, though, with most things, I try to stay away from previews, commercials, and stuff. I don't want anything spoiled. Mm-hmm. So I only saw the E3 trailer. But it's definitely one of the most prettier games of the PlayStation.
I would agree.
Yeah. And so that comes out May 10th, so I'm really excited with that. Mm-hmm. So Cody or Forrest, would there be anything that would get you to play this game? It's like a 12-hour linear action game.
Play it?
Yes.
No.
Unless
you are willing to beat the Earthbound games.
Wait, me beat Earthbound games?
Yes.
Oh, God.
It'd be a favor.
As a favor?
I'll play these games as a favor, yes.
Sounds good.
I mean, I might play it eventually, but I guess first I'd have to finish Uncharted 2 and then beat Uncharted 3 and...
I would say yes and no if you just want the chemistry behind the characters, maybe. But
I don't even really I'm not invested in the characters.
So it's going to be Drake, and he's going to go on an adventure, and you're going to follow him around and stuff. Might I also add, Cody? Have you finished The Last of Us, the game you promised you'd beat for me?
No.
Damn it.
Are you gonna ask me?
No, because I offered to buy
Forrest,
you that
have you beaten The Last of Us?
No.
Okay. You guys are so stupid. I tell them it's the best game of last generation. They're like, no, it's not. It's stupid.
Yeah, it's too linear for me.
So, Forrest, how come you don't like those type of games?
Which type of games?
Like the Uncharted games.
Oh, the Uncharted?
Last of Us, same type of thing.
I try to spend my time wisely when it comes to video games, because in the past I kind of just went for whatever people said was the best at the time or what looked good, and I don't know, it didn't pay off for me really. I kind of only play the classics or the Nintendo titles. So this game doesn't appeal to me, I guess, because like you said, it's linear. It's kind of like that Michael Bay action flick packed into like a disc. It's just not what I want. I don't really want to play an action movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I understand.
Do you?
Yeah, well, I know the type of games you like. I know the type of games you like.
You don't know what it's like, man.
You don't know.
No, I don't.
You don't know me.
How dare you?
You don't know me. Get out of here, bro. You moved to the suburbs. You left me behind.
Yeah.
No, you like exploration games where it's like you tell me like, oh, did you explore here? Did you explore here? I'm like, no, I just want to get to the end.
Oh, like Metal Gear 5.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to explore.
I don't. I want to get to the end. So I think that's a main difference.
It's a treasure hunting game. You should be exploring.
Treasure. It's very cool. So the next list I saw, now I'm just going to, we don't have to necessarily talk about all these games, but one that's coming back that people seem to be interested is Doom. Super gory first-person shooter. Obviously, have you ever seen the original Doom, Forrest?
I've seen it on like G4, the old video game television show, channel. But besides that, no.
Okay. Cody, it's a no?
No.
Sounds good.
But you were there. You were there at its inception.
I didn't play it originally. Even back then, I didn't enjoy first-person shooters.
Yeah, you hate first-person shooters, right?
Yeah,
Did people play it at school, like on their PCs or anything like that?
Yeah, PCs.
Oh, dude, come on.
On their PC. Oh, man, there was like at Wolfenstein, too. There were these student computers in the back of the room of like the classrooms, like in my high school, and like kids would actually like upload games onto them
Yeah,
and
there
start
you go.
playing them over like, break or something like that, or like if they had like 10 minutes at the end of class and the teacher didn't care, we would log on and just start shooting like
great.
monsters and stuff like that. It was a different time.
Did they get like tournaments going on or anything like that? Any sort of culture that sprang about from Doom or the first-person shooters back in the day?
No, one person just played the game and everyone else just kind of stood around their shoulders and watched them.
Yeah.
I guess things haven't changed that much.
That's
No.
great. So, No Man's Sky, have you guys heard about this one?
Yeah, I've heard about that one.
Cody?
No.
Okay, so No Man's Sky is a game where there's limitless planets that you go and explore, and everyone shares the same universe.
Did they show a preview of that at E3? The spaceship taking off, and
like 2 or 3 E3s. It's been there for a while.
So I've seen footage of it.
Okay.
It looks cool.
So I'm curious. People have it rumored to be a PlayStation VR game. So the virtual reality, you put it on, you're in your spaceship, and you just look all around. People seem really up on this game. I don't know. It's not for me. Jumping in a spaceship, flying around, discovering new planets. And it's mathematically generated.
Why don't you like fun?
I don't know, man. Too busy playing Uncharted.
And The Last of Us.
Oh, yeah, I know. Those are so stupid.
You and your game of the year.
I know. My 10 out of 10's IGN.
Yeah. I mean, I like exploring too. I mean, that's what I just said, but this is too much exploring.
Too much exploring?
It's limitless and...
All of these games sound cool to me. I don't want to sound like, oh yeah, I don't like any of these. Like, I have no problem with The Last of Us. I have no problem with Uncharted. I don't have the time.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I just don't like them.
All right, Cody, here's one up your alley. Mighty Number 9. This will be on every single system. It'll be on PC, PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Wii U. So there's no excuses why you can't play this one. It is the guy...
I'd be too busy playing Mega Man Legacy.
There you go.
So, Forrest, who's the guy who made Mega Man?
No idea. No.
You have no idea? Okay, well, it's that guy who made the Mega Man series. He basically had a completed game out of Capcom, and they let him go. And I think there's some bad blood there. And so he's like, fine, I'm going to kickstart this game. And he made Mighty Number 9. It's the same concept, same idea.
Is he blue?
Yes.
Does he have a gun for an arm?
Yes.
Does he have a dog?
Ooh.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Where do you stand on the dog? Where do you stand on Robo Dog? Come on.
I don't know. Maybe it's a cat. I have no idea.
He made Mega Man for me.
The dog?
The dog did?
Dog's
That
dumb.
was the best part, man.
Or who's the red guy?
Oh, Zero or...
Zero, yeah.
No, it wasn't Zero. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Wasn't Zero the dog?
No. Zero was red, I believe, but no, there was the like red Mega Man that would like follow you around.
Yeah, he had the black visor, and he's edgy and cool.
Oh, yeah, and they never made a game about him, I don't think. Oh, who was he?
He's really hip.
I don't remember who that was.
So right now I'm showing Cody a image of Mighty Number 9. And it's just a side scroller. I know this is great for an audio podcast. It's just Mega Man.
He's jumping. He's shooting. There's colors. It looks pretty. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're down?
I gotta play X-Men or Mega Man Legacy first.
Sounds good.
With the golden amiibo.
You know what? I just like again the reason why I play the Mega Man games is because it like
it's comfort food.
Puts me back into the
comfort
like
food
when I was 10 years old.
Yeah, I hear you.
Killer soundtrack.
Yeah.
All right, so let me go ahead and crank through the rest of these.
We're running out of time with this segment.
Yeah, so what about Final Fantasy 15?
Ooh, I'm looking forward to that one.
So, okay.
There's 15 of them?
Well,
no, there's way more than that.
Because like Final Fantasy 13 was like 12 games. Gears of War 4. You guys don't care about Gears Xbox games, right?
No, I saw the commercial. It made me laugh.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's always good.
It's like there's this guy with his family, and he's like the biggest meatball you've ever seen, and he's like got his daughter and stuff, and then he's like flashing back to like the tree that they like put the tire swing on, and then like zombies or monsters knock that tree over.
Now he's got to get revenge for that.
It does not look like a family man kind of guy. It looks like the steroid freak. I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, oh, Gears of War.
So last game I want to bring up here is Persona 5.
Ooh.
Now, Forrest, you didn't even mention this. Did you have any idea this was coming out this year?
No, I knew it. I just forgot about it. Yeah, I'm going to look forward to that one as well.
So this is a Japanese RPG game, correct?
Yes.
So, Cody, it's right up your alley?
No.
Okay, then. All right. On that note, we're going to end Forrest's topic, upcoming games. Who's going next, me or you?
You can.
All right, so mine, I thought of this topic after we saw the Batman v Superman movie. So for me, I know it's not summer yet, but summer movies always, for me, kick off when the first superhero movie comes out. So Batman v Superman came out, and what a stinker, right? So I was I was looking forward to the next upcoming movies, and these are...
Remember, questions at yobrospodcast.com.
Yes, you can feel free to
direct them to Dustin.
You could email us supporting my awesome thoughts.
So, hey, I think your opinion in the last podcast was a good opinion.
It was a good opinion,
I respect you.
I think our podcast was about as fun as Batman v Superman, though, so hopefully this one's a little bit lighter. All right, so
no comment.
We had important things to say.
We did. So, Captain America: Civil War. Thoughts?
They have these reviews already out for it, and people seem to really be enjoying it. And they're saying that Spider-Man is definitely the best part of the movie.
Cool. Nice.
So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I am. You know, people ask us, or have asked us, you know, are you a DC guy? Are you a Marvel guy? And I think that's a stupid question. I think
it's a great question.
No, it's a dumb question because it's like, oh, really? I can't like both? Like,
no,
it's stupid. I want them all to do well. I want this movie to do well too, and it will. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm mostly interested in seeing some of the newer characters like Spider-Man and Black Panther.
Yeah.
I want to see a little bit more of the Vision because we saw him a little bit in Age of Ultron, and you know he's going to be back in this movie. And who knows? Is this the last Marvel movie for Robert Downey Jr. or is it one of the last? You know, where does that leave him and Captain America at the end of that movie? And I don't think it's really going to follow the book all that closely because it just doesn't seem to have been set up for that. But it's I'm looking forward to it. Punching.
So for those who know the comic book story of Captain America, let's not say anything. Let's leave that non-spoiler since the movie's not even out yet. But,
lots of spoilers.
No spoilers.
It has been 10 years.
But
to be fair,
not a lot of the. I would say the
it's
majority.
Like ruining Shakespeare at this point.
No,
we already know how it ends.
No, the audience who most likely is reading comic books obviously will see the movies, but the people who are going to see the movies most likely have not seen the comic books. Would be my guess.
That's their problem.
My students watch this show and they do not read that comic book, so we're not ruining it for them.
Well, they should. What you haven't assigned it yet?
I have not.
What's the matter with you?
I teach science.
So what?
Cody, why do you say that it might be Downey Jr.'s last movie? in the Marvel Universe.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be his last movie, but I mean...
Has he been talking about that, or...?
It's his contracts.
Yeah, his contract is... I don't know if it's up or if he's going to be in Infinity War. I think he is.
He's going to be in... His contract includes this and the two Infinity Wars movies, and then either he's done or they can renegotiate.
I really don't think they're... Like, he's going to be done, but I am just alluding to... When he and Captain America are fighting each other, that's kind of a thing where... They're going to be in a different place by the end of that movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as their relationship with each other goes, as far as like, okay, are they both still on the team? Are there two different teams now? Will that continue at the end of the movie? That kind of stuff. So just kind of wondering about those kind of things. It's, I mean, we've had how many Marvel movies up to this point to kind of be invested in these characters? And it's still, you know, the two characters that people are most interested in are Iron Man and Captain America. And just kind of seeing their overall arcs, you know, from all the way back in Iron Man 1 to now, you know, it's kind of one of those things that you're maybe a bit more emotionally invested in than you would be if you were watching another superhero movie.
Sure.
So
this will be like, you predict the end of their relationship until Infinity War, which may serve as the catalyst for their coming back together, so to speak?
Yeah, maybe. I don't really have any predictions, though. I just want to kind of go in it without really a whole lot of expectations.
Good man.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for this one because it's a Marvel movie, and I've said in the past that they're very formulaic. Same stuff's going to happen, but since they're on the same sides, I could see this one ending up a little different. I hope that there is no overwhelming force that brings them together. I just hope they keep fighting the whole movie. I'm sure there will be something that brings them together. Have they announced I know the bad guy in it. Have they announced that? Is that like public knowledge?
Yeah.
Baron Zemo?
Yeah.
Okay, so Baron Zemo's in that. No one who listens to this will know who that is.
Is Crossbones in it?
Yes.
Nice.
Crossbones is cool.
Crossbones.
So I don't know. I don't think people really know that his character so well, so I'm curious to see what happens.
He needs a purple sock on his head. If they don't have that, they've ruined the character.
I hope what was it, in a glue factory it got stuck on?
I think I made that up and you believed me.
Oh, you ass.
Yeah, Baron Zemo wants to rob a glue factory. His sock gets stuck to his head. Come on.
It's a true story. Like, I would always ask Cody questions, and he would give me the wrong answer on purpose, so I would just tell all my friends, like, oh, no, this is true, this is true. I would, for rap lyrics and for stories, and, it's horrible. Thanks, Cody.
Well, I like this version of Baron Zemo.
Yeah, I mean, this is the one that we all want.
The glue factory.
Right. And just make all of our wishes come true, and everything will be fine.
Beautiful. Okay, so then Angry Birds. Who's excited about that one?
You are.
No.
Wait, Angry Birds is coming out?
That's a real movie.
As a movie?
That's a movie.
It looked funny. I saw a trailer for it. It had an eagle taking a whiz for like a really long time on it. Bella laughed.
Would you take your daughter to it?
I'd rather take her to see Zootopia.
Okay.
Or what's the Secret Life of Pets that's coming out?
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't know these movies.
There's a lot of cartoons with animals.
Awesome.
We like adult movies, Cody.
They're big in the 4 to 9 demographic.
Well, okay, I'm looking forward to it then, if you guys aren't.
Sounds good. Oh, so wait, jumping back to Captain America. Forrest, what was the last Marvel movie you saw?
Avengers 1?
So are you going to see Captain America?
Yeah.
It's part of your job now. So.
Okay.
Civil War.
Should we just sit him down and make sure he watches like Age of Ultron and Cap 2 and everything like that before that?
You actually need to see Cap 2. You need to see Cap 2.
Yeah, I hear it's cool.
It's my favorite one.
Yeah, I don't want to be at the Captain America Civil War podcast spoiler cast, and I'm the only guy not watching the movie.
Well,
Yeah.
and also like this
last
is
time.
From what I've heard, like this is a Captain America movie. It's not just like
Yeah.
an Avengers movie. This is a movie that centers around Captain America primarily, and so it's a continuation of that trilogy. Mm-hmm. So you want to see the middle part, I would say.
Okay.
I want to see the middle part.
Winter Soldier was my favorite Marvel movie too, so it's great. And then I guess to see the rest of the characters, you'd probably need to see Age of Ultron. Like how'd Vision get there, and so on and so forth. So, awesome. All right, any other thoughts on Captain America?
No, I thought we were finishing up Angry Birds.
Yeah, I know. I jumped the gun. I wanted to know your opinion on that before I did that. Forrest, any other opinions on Angry Birds?
The first few levels were fun in the game.
Sounds good. We're talking about the movie. Cody, any other thoughts on the movie?
No.
Sounds good.
Well done.
All right, so then my favorite, because it always comes out around the time of my birthday, is X-Men Apocalypse. So they showed this movie. What year at Comic-Con did we see this? Last year or the year before?
Apocalypse?
Yeah.
Last year.
I'm really curious because we saw it. He looked horrible, in my opinion. I absolutely, he looked like a Power Ranger and everything. And then he just was not in any of the trailers.
You're talking about Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
Not
Dare you call him a Power Ranger?
Okay. And then from there, they haven't showed him. And then they're starting to show him again. And he looks like how he does in the comic books. With like the more blue lips, less purple, weird looking. From the trailers, I don't know. How do you think the trailers are doing for this movie?
How do I think the trailers are doing?
Well, what I mean is, like, you look at the trailer.
I think the trackers are the trailers are tracking well.
Good.
You know, they've moved the needle. I think they've really made a stamp in the public consciousness.
Beautiful. So what my question meant to be more so is I remember seeing the last Days of Future Past, and those really sold audiences. I feel like now looking at this, do you think are you guys really excited to see X-Men Apocalypse based off the trailers?
No, but I don't base my expectation of a movie off the trailer anymore. Like, there's a whole bunch of really, really crappy movies that had great trailers.
Like Batman v Superman,
Terminator, Salvation.
Oh, that's true. Oh,
I liked okay, going on.
They're just being mean. But I mean, they didn't need to sell me. I've already been sold. It's a Bryan Singer X-Men movie. I'm going to go see it. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, yeah, it's a trailer. It's coming out. Good. Thanks for the reminder. I'll see you at the end of May.
Yeah. Okay. It's got Olivia Munn in it.
Yeah.
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 We have pictures.
She made out with Forrest.
She did.
Super.
This goes viral.
Super.
This goes viral. Yeah. We'll attach the picture in the description for us.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers is knocking at your door next week. What'd you say?
Dude, we should tweet at Aaron Rodgers. Yo, bro. Yeah. My brother had her first.
I've got pictures to prove it, man. I've got like 3.
The Yo Bros podcast where 3 jerks tried to pick on Aaron Rodgers.
Try to ruin relationships.
He lives in San Diego, too. He's going to show up at our door. Hey, bro. He's going to wait and throw a football at us.
We'll take that and sell it.
Okay. Just to clarify, Olivia Munn did not make out with Forrest.
Not yet.
Not yet, yeah.
She
was promising it.
Gave him... Yeah, right. She was sending all the signals.
Yeah.
What would we say? Was it a peck on the cheek? Well, how would you describe it? You were there.
There was no lip on face. It was just very close.
She really wanted it, but I was like, nah.
No,
today.
Not today. Maybe when I'm 15.
Right.
How old were you with that picture?
I think it was 15, 14. No, maybe 14, 15.
So we were at Comic-Con, and then we were at a meet and greet with the G4, and Forrest was always like one of the younger people there, and I think they started to. I know the people at work there started to recognize us because we went there every year, and Forrest was in love with Kevin and Olivia, so he would, bring them gifts, draw them pictures, fun stuff like that. And Olivia was like, "Oh, come here," and got really close and looked like he's about to give him a kiss. I'll put it somewhere on the. Either on the website or the YouTube thing, so you can see it. So
there was definitely some leaning in. There was really some chemistry there.
Oh man, did you see what she wrote on my for signature, man?
No, what'd it say?
We'll put that in the show notes.
Okay, sounds good. There are no show notes. What did it say? And then we'll put it in the show notes.
She said, "You, Forrest, you are a tree in my forest." Signed, Olivia. I'm like, yeah.
Very cool. You have one of many.
Yeah. Dang it.
So yeah. Anyways, I'm actually excited. No, because it's cool because she's in this movie, and I remember I got called up on the G4 panel at Comic-Con, and I got to participate. That was a fun experience.
Kevin schooled you.
Oh, whatever. So embarrassing.
So yeah, that movie looks cool.
Yes. All right. Cool. So Forrest, you going to see X-Men?
Yes, I actually really like the X-Men movies. I never look at the previews, but I always enjoy them thoroughly when I actually see them.
You actually have no choice because it's my birthday. That's what we're doing for the birthday party.
Oh, that's right. We always see X-Men for your birthday.
I know. It's awesome.
All right.
So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that did really big. People weren't expecting much and actually did quite well. Any thoughts?
I did not really like the first one.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I saw it for free.
Nice.
It was good.
Cool. All right. I have no thoughts. Cody?
I'm interested in it only because there's Bebop and Rocksteady and Krang in the movie, and I want to see a talking brain inside a robot's body, and he has to be sitting inside of his stomach.
Awesome.
And if I don't see that, then I will be sorely disappointed.
I like the old rhino and pig toys in there.
Oh,
yes. Bebop, Rocksteady, they have names.
Yeah.
Which one's which, Cody?
Whatever.
Bebop is the pig and Rocksteady's the rhino. Come on,
sorry,
that's awesome.
Sorry. My extent, it's still on the Xbox 360, the freaking Turtles in Time, man. Remember when Mike had that? We'd go over to Mike's house and play Turtles in Time.
Oh, Super Nintendo.
Yeah. We have that on the Xbox.
Yeah, the remastered version.
Baxter, he was the fly. He was all disgusting looking. Yeah.
Welcome to the Big Apple.
Yeah.
All right. So this next movie, I'm actually really interested in because it's a video game movie, and usually they don't do well, and usually they're not bad. But this one, they've put a lot of money and a lot of resources in it, and hopefully it'll be a success. It's Warcraft. So I never played the game. I never really was into it, but I'm always at the Comic-Con panels, and when they show it, it looks absolutely amazing. So I don't want to say it looks absolutely amazing. It looks
really
it gets
visually.
me pumped up. It gets me pumped up because
it looks good visually.
Yeah, I think it does. So I guess what they're trying to do is they're coming up with a story with Warcraft where not one side is good and one side is bad. They both have, their own side of the story, and they both could be looked at as either the good guys or the bad guys. I'm sure there's an overarching bad guy in the story, but that's basically the premises. And for no other reason than, one, it comes out June 10th, and we get out that week of school. I also just want to see it just because I want to support video game movies, and I know Assassin's Creed's coming out in the later years, and I want a good video game movie. I know some people say, hey, video games, let it be its own thing, its own platform. It doesn't need to be made into a movie.
The Last of Us was a pretty good video game movie.
Yeah, that is true.
An Uncharted movie.
Right? You know what? Like, this stuff's like in development hell right now. So they are planning for an Uncharted movie. They are planning for a Last of Us movie. They just haven't been able to get it off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So, what about you? About thoughts about Warcraft?
I saw that Comic-Con footage that we went to last year.
Yeah,
I was like, what is this? I couldn't follow it. I understood like the whole idea of, yeah, both sides have their own points, and when they clash with each other, it's complicated and there's no clear good guy and bad guy. But it looked like I couldn't follow what was going on in the footage. I'm someone who's never played the Warcraft games. I couldn't really kind of get it into any of the characters. I couldn't really latch on to any of them. I was just like, all right, well, there's these cartoon people, and then there's a wizard who lives in a tree, and then lightning shoots, and there's a portal, and it wasn't anything that got me excited. In fact, I felt less excited about it having seen that than I was even beforehand. Mm-hmm. So, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, I went from like a 3 to a 2.
Ouch.
Ooh.
Ouch.
You see that movie by yourself.
No. It's part of your job now, too. You see Warcraft. We're going to have an hour special on just Warcraft.
Yes.
Each episode will be another character's perspective.
We'll roleplay, too. It'll be fun.
All right.
You can be our dwarf.
We don't have to spend too much time on some of these, but ones that I'm really excited about.
You didn't ask my opinion on Warcraft.
What's your opinion on Warcraft?
I'm excited.
Cool. Moving on. No, I'm just joking.
I think it's very ambitious, all right? And I think it's going to be cool.
Cool.
I'm curious to see how they're going to bring all the pieces together, since there's so many species on each side.
Very carefully.
There you go.
There's humans and orcs.
There are humans and orcs.
There's human and green people.
Wait, is that all there is, though?
I don't know. I haven't played the game.
We need the pandas from World of Warcraft.
We are terribly underqualified to be commenting on these movies.
Well,
No,
speak for yourself, man.
I've seen the trailers.
Should have been asking me. I actually bought the game and played it for a month.
Really?
Yeah, and then I sold it. I was dumb and bought the expansion before I could even plug it in.
Beautiful. Okay, so these next few movies we don't have to really talk about, but just kind of want to bring up. Independence Day. I did not care about it at all until I saw the trailer. I'm like, oh my gosh, and nostalgic took over.
Is Jaden Smith going to be in it?
No.
Oh, dang it.
They actually killed Will.
There's your movie.
Everyone's back, but Will Smith couldn't make it. I don't know if because he didn't want to, or I heard reports he's filming Suicide Squad, but they just killed him. And they had like a little website, like you go to the website and it says in memory of, and it was whatever his name is. Like died in a piloting accident.
I always think that's funny when they have to change the plot just because someone can't make it to the set.
Oh, I know.
They made a website to it. It's funny.
I know.
It's kind of a bummer.
Next one I'm actually quite excited for is the Ghostbusters, the reboot with all the girls. I think that's going to be pretty sweet.
Just all the girls?
So instead of having...
All the girls.
Yes, all the girls. Instead of having a male cast, they're doing...
All of them?
All of them.
All the girls.
All 3.5 billion. So instead of
this is just coming out wrong.
All the girls. So
it's a lot of girls.
All of them. So
every last one.
I mean, just logistically, it's the how do they work out the contracts?
It's the biggest movie ever made.
Dang, dude.
I know. So,
I mean, are there really that many ghosts or?
No, girls.
This is a movement, man. We have to be a part of it.
So Ghostbusters, instead of having 4 male lead characters, are going to be 4 girl character leads.
Oh, I get it.
Ah, yes.
All the girls. Okay.
Good job, Forrest.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I'm excited. They got a bunch of funny people in there. Cody, do you know the characters? I'm really bad with actor and actresses' names.
Well, like Melissa McCarthy is in there, and Leslie Jones is in there, and there's very, very, very funny actresses. I'm sure the movie will be funny.
Yeah, so I'm actually quite excited for that.
Yeah.
Star Trek Beyond is the first one, not by J.J. Abrams, so the new guy's taking over.
Cool.
I always like the Star Trek movies, so I'm excited about that. Next one coming out is Jason Bourne, and
never seen any of them.
They're really cool. Like Matt Damon, I thought was like, I don't know, I thought he was a tool, and then you see him in these movies, like, oh, what a badass. And then, who's the guy who plays Hawkeye?
Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, so he was in the 4th one. Mm-hmm. Matt Damon didn't want to do it, and so Matt Damon's actually back for the 5th one. So that's interesting. Last movie that I'm actually probably most excited about is Suicide Squad.
Here we go.
So I only watched that first trailer at Comic-Con and the first other one release, but besides that, it's all I've seen. Really excited about that.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Did you see the preview the other day at the what was it, MTV Awards? Or
no, I didn't.
Oh, it was.
I did.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. I mean, you want to go in there expecting a cool action flick, and that looks like it's exactly what it's going to be. It's Dirty Dozen with superpowers, and I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, so I even at Comic-Con when they showed the Batman v Superman trailer, then the Suicide Squad, I always thought this one looked more interesting, and I don't know, I keep reading more and more stuff that Jared Leto did to get ready for the part.
So what did he do?
He went and went to jail and interviewed and talked to psychopaths, murderers. He would send the other cast members really inappropriate gifts like dead rodents.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Jeez. And other things I'll tell you off air. But it's really...
Show notes.
really gross. And
if you're wondering what Jared Leto sent his cast members, email us at questions@yobrospodcast.com.
Yobros After Hours.
Exactly. So... Good one for us.
And so we're talking about how he just really got himself into the character and things like that. And
I think unfortunately he's always going to be compared to Heath Ledger, which rightfully so, but at the same time
It's been a long time since that movie came out.
Was it 11
8 years?
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a new interpretation.
Yeah, so, I don't know. The tattoos don't bug me anymore. I remember the stills came out. I was like, ugh. But, I don't know.
Damaged. Across the forehead.
But wait, how else will we know that he's damaged?
I know. So, yeah. Anyways, so that wraps up. So that's only the summer movies. We still have some others coming out, like Rogue One, which we'll talk about later. So yeah, that ends my topic, which brings to our final topic. Cody, what are you bringing to the table?
So I wanted to talk about the new DC Comics initiative, which is called DC Rebirth. For those of you guys who read the comics and who are familiar with, the DC characters that are being published right now, they're in the middle of what they call the New 52, which is in 2011 they kind of reset their universe. They erased a lot of the history that was going on in the books, and they kind of started from scratch with a lot of the characters. But they really kind of made it confusing because they said a lot of the stories that we have read in the past still happened in their characters' history. They just never really told us which stories actually did happen. And the more that they tried to kind of have their cake and eat it too, the more confusing it got for readers. For example, the New 52 universe kind of was all taking place over the course of 5 years. How the heck did Batman have 4 different Robins over the course of 5 years? And why is, Dick Grayson as Nightwing an adult at this point?
Right.
It's not like you adopted him as a boy. It's like one of those creepy Batman and Robin, George Clooney and Chris O'Donnell situations where it's like, come to my house, young man. And a lot of it just kind of got confusing because if they say a certain story happened, well, in that story, Superboy was this version, and now it doesn't fit with, the current, continuity. And so the New 52 got very confusing, but most importantly, I think what they lost in the New 52 is the sense of history and legacy with the characters, where they wanted to make all of their characters kind of younger. And a lot of it, I think, was to try to attract younger readers. Mm-hmm. But the problem is that they kind of erase what made the DC universe special and cool, which is passing the mantle on from one character to another. and how you had the Golden Age characters and the Justice Society. They were no longer around. And how, Barry Allen passed the mantle of the Flash onto Wally West. And then there was the younger incarnation with the Teen Titans and everything like that. And there was this real sense of history that made it a more complete kind of universe. And, several years ago, before they reset, there was a lot of kind of interconnectedness between the books, and, what was happening in one book affected another. And fans kind of complain about that just because they felt the need to buy like other titles that they weren't necessarily reading in order to kind of understand what was going on. Mm-hmm. I read everything, so that doesn't really bother me.
Do you agree with that, though?
I don't, because if it's done well, they could reference other books, and if you're interested in it, you can go back and you can read that. I mean, that's really how the Marvel Universe was built, right? Like Spider-Man swinging around, he sees Thor flying up overhead and be like, hey, I wonder where Thor's going. Yeah. And then there was a little note saying, hey, if you want to know where Thor's going, pick up Thor. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, that's kind of just the way that American comics have been since the 1960s. It doesn't mean that you have to necessarily buy all the books. Yeah. I think there are certain fans who are addicted to comics who feel like they're being like, swindled and their addiction is taking over, and now all of a sudden they have to buy everything because they have to know where the heck Superman is flying off to. I don't necessarily feel that way because I don't read my comics on a month-to-month basis.
So you buy the trades, right?
Yeah, I buy like the trades, collections, hardcovers, omnibuses, all that kind of stuff. And so I read my books, typically like a year after they're originally published as magazines or in comic book form.
So really quickly, on a guesstimate, how many trades do you own?
2,000.
Woo! Nice. That's awesome.
Probably somewhere around there, yeah.
So he has, I was at his house the other day, he has 4 bookshelves from top to bottom filled with trades.
Yeah. We should try to put that in just one big tall pile.
We should buy a giant house.
Take every Batman book I own and then bind them all together.
Oh, man.
Well, anyway, so, I mean, the New 52, it had its good stories. I think a lot of people felt down on the New 52 because so much, history and continuity was lost. And frankly, a lot of the stories were not that compelling.
So jumping in, though, they started the New 52 to get... People thought there was such a big history that they couldn't catch up, correct?
Well, they wanted to attract new readers, and they felt like it would be hard for new readers to jump in if they felt like they had the need to catch up on all this history in order to understand what was going on.
Yeah.
But if you're correctly telling your story, you don't necessarily need to rely on events that happened to your characters 5, 10, 15 years ago. You just jump in and you tell your story. But they went out of their way to purposely change things with certain characters. They change Oracle into Batgirl. They change Tim Drake from Robin into Red Robin, and then say that he was never a Robin. They alter Superman's history so drastically that they erased his marriage with Lois. They completely took away the character of Wally West. They took away so many things, and they didn't add enough. Or they didn't. The changes that they made were not a net gain, for the DC universe. And instead, the DCU in the New 52 felt very shallow.
Okay.
Where you were just kind of concentrating on the characters in the here and now, but you didn't feel like any of their history was earned. In a sense, like if Batman and Superman are having a conversation with each other, and it's a tense conversation, and they're really kind of into it. In the old continuity, readers would understand that they've had all these different adventures together and that there's this weight of history behind it, right? Mm-hmm. And in the New 52, they still want you to feel that way, but you never actually seen any of their past adventures, because so many of their old things have been erased from their history. And so, we're supposed to feel this emotional impact when these two characters are at odds with each other, but we don't feel it because we don't know what actually happened and didn't happen, and there's more questions and confusion rather than just like simply enjoying the story. And frankly, a lot of the stories were just not all that compelling. Okay. And I think one of the problems with the New 52, frankly, is that DC didn't really have a lot of talent in their writing pool and in their pool of artists. I mean, DC really relies on 3 or 4 really, really great writers. And then they have a lot of average creators, that kind of like fill their ranks on their other books. And that's basically the reason why Marvel has been doing so much better than them lately, is because, they just have a deeper bench.
And hasn't Marvel, for the most part, always been doing better than DC?
Well, I mean, one of the reasons for that is that Marvel publishes a lot more comics than DC does on a month-to-month basis. So they're selling more as far as dollars go and units go because they're publishing more books, you know?
So instead of being like a monthly, it'd be like a bi-monthly issue, something like that? Or just
Well, first of all, they have more titles,
okay.
right? They offer more titles. They offer something like 60 titles or something like that, plus miniseries, plus specials, and all that other kind of stuff. And then many of their more popular books, like Avengers and X-Men, they double ship them. So instead of these, titles coming out monthly, they come out twice a month. And so if you're an Avengers fan, well, you're spending twice as much money reading the Avengers titles than what you normally would,
Yeah.
And so, I mean, Marvel really kind of, kicked DC's butt as far as sales go because they started double shipping their books and, they're moving, much more product than DC was because of that double shipping. Now DC is catching on. And so with this DC Rebirth, it's not a reboot. They're going to be double shipping.
Don't call it a comeback.
Yeah, they're going to be
Saffron
publishing
Hello, Cool J.
twice as many books, basically.
Yeah,
but it's not going to be necessarily more books. It's going to be fewer titles, but those popular titles like Batman, Superman, Justice League, Wonder Woman, they'll be double shipping each month too.
Okay.
So I personally thought it was a cool idea at first. I was more caught up in just how inconsistent it was, like how Blackest Night happened just probably like a year or two earlier. Am I correct? When they first rebooted into the New 52, and yet Green Lantern kind of was still going off a story that came about from Blackest Night. What with the first Green Lantern and the.
I mean, it was weird how they wanted to continue Green Lantern's story,
right,
from the the kind of the old universe or the old stories that they were telling into the New 52, and then they didn't want to change much of Batman either. They wanted to make Batman younger, and they changed the whole Robin situation. They made it very, very confusing. But pretty much every other character in the DC universe was essentially just reset. And that's what I mean by they wanted their cake and have to eat it too, is because they really wanted to change some things but not others, and they wouldn't commit one way or another.
Yeah.
So anyway, all that being said, what's going on in DC Rebirth is that they're basically bringing back a lot of the continuity and legacy and history from the DC universe and incorporating it back. That's the promise that they're making.
So what I'm confused about, so with DC, they have all the different universes. They have Earth 1, Earth 2, so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. They don't have the multiverse anymore. It's just 52 separate universes, right?
No, they have more of a... I mean, it is 52 Earths, but they're saying that there could be more.
So what's happening now is 52 is just one of those Earths or one of those universes, basically?
Which one?
The New 52 stuff?
Yeah, it's like the central Earth. It's like the one that everything is based on. So they're telling the story of Earth Zero, which is the New 52 Earth, which is also the Earth that everything was happening on before the New 52 started, right, before Flashpoint reset everything. So it's still all the same Earth, it's just that the timeline has been changed. And
so then my question is, with Rebirth, is stuff coming to Earth Zero, do you know, or what have they really announced?
I mean, so what they've announced is that they've decided that in late May, they're going to publish DC Rebirth number 1 or number 0 or whatever. And it's going to be written by Jeff Johns, who is basically DC's best writer. Really understands the characters, really understands and appreciates the history, and understands like the core of each character. And they want to kind of return to what made the characters always special and what made them work in the first place. And so they're trying to blend a lot of that stuff in and basically just make course corrections in the New 52. So the New 52 characters, I believe, are still going to be around, but my guess is that they're all basically going to remember that, oh, wait, no, we have all of this other history behind us too. And so they're, in the course of the story, hopefully it's explained that they're, kind of going to be reset a little bit as far as, some of their personalities and costumes are kind of going back more toward their classic versions. But then they're also going to have more of they're still going to continue the story of what they were doing in the New 52. It's just you're kind of returning them to kind of the core version of that character.
Got it.
Am I the only one that liked the new costumes a lot?
Yep.
I thought they were so cool. I mean,
I liked them a lot.
Batman doesn't have any underpanties. That's cool.
So I'm a huge toy collector, so I liked it. They only came out with a handful of the toys for the type of toy I bought, but the New 52 Batman, the New 52 Superman, I absolutely loved.
Yeah, I like the new Superman, like this V-neck collar. And
I didn't.
Oh, really?
So cool.
No, I prefer him with the trunks on the outside, red underwear on the outside.
Does he wear underwear underneath his red underwear?
I think so. I think that's kind of like
overkill, man.
There's got to be. I mean, God, you got to be sweating in that thing like crazy.
know,
it covers your entire body. He's out in the sun all day.
He likes the sun. Gives him energy.
Plus the cape too. I mean, that's just an added layer.
Ugh. What about Batman? I thought it was sweet. Dude, man, all those outfits were sweet. Okay, the ones that I hated were like Deadshot. I hated Deadshot's because
with the mask and the
mask
slits.
I don't even get the mask. It looks stupid.
It's too fat.
Yeah.
I think that's staying.
Ugh.
I think that's staying.
Harley, I don't know. I like the cartoon look because I'm into the animated series stuff. Mr. Freeze, I couldn't stand.
No,
he like a mohawk. Yeah.
His little like.
As of right now, we have not confirmed what costume Mr. Freeze will have.
He's a key element in DC Rebirth.
I want him to look like the Borg from Star Trek. Like,
see, the problem that a lot of people had with these New 52 costumes is that they look like the type of versions that you would see like in the 90s. They were all very, very Jim Lee inspired. All the pockets, all the extra lines that don't do anything. Somebody explained to me why Superman wears body armor. You know, I get it. It's a Kryptonian suit, so on Krypton he didn't actually have powers, and blah blah blah.
What was the original suit made out of?
Cloth.
That's stupid.
Why?
I mean, if you're going into battle with Doomsday, by the end of the battle, you're going to be completely naked.
He was.
Okay, not even with Doomsday.
He was ripped up.
Let's say he's
ripping his cape right there.
Let's say he's in a fight with Firefly. Just Firefly. He could destroy Firefly. If he shoots one like nozzle of fuel at him, he's going to be naked.
See, the problem is like you guys Superman. Do not need to like have like this minutia explanation. Just like enjoy the freaking like stories. That's kind of where I stand on it. I don't really understand. Like I would prefer, and it even looks visually better like on screen too. Like, what do you prefer? The kind of segmented body armor that Batman was wearing in The Dark Knight, or how he looked in Batman v Superman, where it was more of a kind of.
Forrest, what'd you think about that?
Batman v Superman for sure, but. Okay, that's a bad example, I think, The Dark Knight. Like, there's no way the Dark Knight version of Batman looks like the New 52 version of Batman. It's like a hybrid.
He does. He had all of those extra like segments and plates and everything.
I know, but it's like
that's what he had in the New 52
But it's also
books.
like flexible, and it doesn't look like it's stuck to him, like he can't move. Like, I mean, he couldn't move, literally, when he was in the Batsuit, but... It's like a hybrid between the Dark Knight version that we see or not the Dark Knight version, the version we see in Batman v Superman, and like... the old classic look that you like.
Well, and here's the other thing you got to understand is that, Jim Lee makes these drawings look pretty good because he's Jim Lee and he's awesome. But every other artist has to draw him that exact same way, and not every other artist pulls it off very well. Mm. You know, a lot of other artists, when they're like drawing all those extra lines and crap on it, it doesn't look good. You know, and if you want to, like, you can stick to a more simplistic version of it and still get the basic idea of the costume and all of its badassery across. You don't need all of that extra stuff. Okay. You know what I mean? There are a lot of artists who like they want to draw Superman's like little like SS collar, and it looks like his neck is like 4 feet long. You know, so I mean, they just it doesn't look like right on a lot of characters. All those extra yellow lines on the Flash.
Okay,
look
that's
weird.
awful.
Those look weird.
Yeah, I don't like that.
But the chin strap has to stay. I love the chin strap on the Flash. But if they want to leave like the big boys to the cool looking costumes like Jim Lee, like I'm fine with that. The grunt artists can stick to the old
grunt artist.
The
Sorry, Philip Tan, start watercolor.
No, Philip Tan's a G, dude. He can do the.
He will be on Suicide Squad with Jim Lee after
there
Rebirth.
You go.
Jim Lee's going to be.
He needs that support, man. He can't do it on his own.
Yeah, no, I like Philip Tan.
Anyway, we've talked a lot about the costumes, but I think one of the things that I'm really excited about Rebirth, number one, is you're going to see a lot of the characters that have been gone since the New 52 coming back.
Such as?
You're going to see more of like the classic Teen Titans characters. Like the version of Raven is more of the classic version of Raven. The version of Green Arrow is more of the classic version of Green Arrow with the goatee and everything like that.
Yeah, they messed him up, right?
Well, I mean, they made him younger, so they shaved his face. There was a really, really good Green Arrow run in the New 52 in the middle of it, written by Jeff Lemire, which was really, really good.
Okay.
And so they did do some good stuff, but I just never really liked the look of it,
Yeah.
So, I mean, some characters they change for the sake of changing, and some of those characters will stay changed. Like, Barbara Gordon will still be Batgirl by all appearances, but they're going to change Tim Drake back into more of a classic-looking costume, and they're going to, put Nightwing back in the black and blue instead of the black and red.
Yeah, I couldn't stand Nightwing with the red. That just didn't go together.
It didn't look right, yeah.
You liked it?
I thought it was awesome.
Oh, man.
Okay, but Damien's going to have his lines.
Damien looks cool.
Damien's having the segmented body armor, man.
Damien looks like Ra's al Ghul.
And there was a lot of people who don't like Damien just because of the effect that he has on Batman and how he changes Batman. But I think those are people who just crying about they just want Tim Drake to be Robin forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Damien a lot. He's probably my favorite Robin.
Obviously, we're just going to have to see what the books are like once they come out. It's really hard to, know what they're going to be like or what changes exactly are coming until it actually happens and you can read the book. Mm-hmm. The other thing that I'm excited about is they're doing a lot of different creative team changes. Mm-hmm. And so, some of the books that weren't working, those are getting changed a little bit with new artists and writers. Some of the books that have been pretty successful, up to this point, they're sticking with some of their creative teams. So there's some good stuff coming. I'm excited about it.
Superboy, Super Baby, whatever he is.
Super Baby,
the Super Sons.
Yeah,
son of Batman, son of Superman.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the new little baby boy.
The baby boy. I don't know if he's supposed to be a baby.
DC presents babies.
Fighting Doomsday.
That's awesome. So Cody, to wrap this up. Out of all the books that are coming out, what's the one you're most excited about?
Wonder Woman.
And why is that?
Because Greg Rucka is coming back.
Sweet.
He's coming back to DC Comics after being away for a long time. People who don't know, Greg Rucka was a big-time DC writer. Came around during 1999 and worked for DC Comics until about 2009. Worked on books like Batman, Gotham Central, Wonder Woman, The Adventures of Superman. He worked on the weekly series 52. And so he wrote a lot of big-time books, and he was really my favorite writer from that time period. And has still been doing some really, really great work, creator-owned books for Image, like Black Magic and Lazarus, and Stumptown for Oni. And, he said in 2009 that, his relationship had deteriorated with DC to a point where he just couldn't work with them anymore. And he left, and he's been away from them for 7-8 years. And, you always kind of felt like there was something missing from DC with some of these writers that when I started reading DC, he was kind of that writer that I latched onto right away. Him and Jeff Johns and Grant Morrison, and so when he left, you always kind of felt like there was something missing.
Yeah,
and boy, I was really excited when they said that he was coming back. Man,
that's great.
I was really pumped up. So. It felt like Mom and Dad were getting back together again. Oh, good. We're all happy again. Let's go to Applebee's, guys.
Golly, that's great.
That's cool.
What about me?
What are you most excited for, Phil?
I'm excited for the Shanghai Superman.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm excited for the new characters, actually, and the new looks. I think the new Lex Luthor and his cool,
his suit looks cool.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Gushers or something weird. Green and purple. This looks cool.
It does look really cool.
And they're resetting the Action Comics and Detective Comics back to their original numbering. So they're in the 930s and 950s.
Did they count the new 52s onto that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they'll be reaching issues 1000 in the next few, and because they're both double shipping, they'll be getting there pretty soon, in the next 2 or 3 years.
Sweet.
So
very cool.
Scott Snyder is sticking around on Batman, but he's got his own new Batman title called All-Star Batman. So, and he'll be working with a bunch of different artists on that book, and it's basically him capturing Two-Face and dragging him across the country in the Batmobile.
That sounds cool.
Running into a bunch of different Batman villains and stuff like that. So
how cool would that be, man? A road trip in the Batmobile?
Yeah,
be sweet.
I'll be sweet. All right, well, that pretty much wraps up the second episode of the Yo Bros podcast. If you want to hear more of our thoughts just randomly through the week, you can follow us all on Twitter. I'm at DustinJenkins86. Cody?
I don't find me on Twitter. I
don't find Cody on Twitter.
I don't do anything on Twitter.
Forrest?
I mean, I suppose I'll be at Forrest_Jenkins. Let's go
Beautiful.
that. Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. I'll put Cody's Twitter in the show notes so you can follow him. He needs to step up his social media game.
I don't like people.
All right, the 85 boy.
My Twitter's pretty awesome.
The _85 boy. All right. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, you want to be part of the show, please, we want to reach out to you guys. We want to know what you guys think. We want to answer your guys' questions. So you can please email us at questions@yobrospodcast.com.
And by the way, if you like what you're hearing, if some of this was entertaining to you, please feel free to tell other people about our podcasts. Spread the love, spread the word about the Yo Bros podcast. We'd really appreciate it.
Heck yeah. And expect us. Go ahead.
We gotta do the thing we once promised ourselves.
Yo Bros!